In a time when gods walked the earth and heroes performed deeds that echoed through eternity, there lived a musician whose songs could charm the very stones and trees. His name was Orpheus, son of the muse Calliope and the Thracian king Eurydice. Orpheus's music was not of this world. It was said that his lyre, gifted by Apollo, could soothe the wildest beasts and even make the rivers alter their course.
A chance encounter.
One fateful day, Orpheus was wandering through a sun-dappled forest, playing his lyre, when he stumbled upon a beautiful maiden named Eurydice. She was a nymph of unparalleled grace, her movements as fluid as the streams that flowed through the woods. As she listened to Orpheus's music, her heart swelled with emotions she had never known. Their eyes met, and in that instant, both knew they were destined for one another. Orpheus serenaded her with a melody that spoke of love, longing, and the promise of eternal togetherness. Eurydice, unable to resist the pull of his music and the depth of his gaze, fell deeply in love with him. They spent their days in joyous harmony, their love growing stronger with each passing moment. The wedding and tragedy. Orpheus and Eurydice decided to marry, and their wedding was a celebration like no other. Nymphs and woodland creatures gathered to witness their union, and the air was filled with music, laughter, and the scent of blooming flowers. It seemed that even the gods blessed their love. But happiness can be fleeting, and fate often cruel. Shortly after their wedding, as Eurydice danced with joy through the meadow, she stepped on a venomous snake hidden in the grass. The serpent struck, and Eurydice fell to the ground, her life slipping away as Orpheus rushed to her side. Her last breath whispered his name, and Orpheus was left holding the lifeless body of his beloved, his heart shattered. The descent into the underworld. Grief-stricken and desperate, Orpheus could not accept Eurydice's death. He decided to embark on a perilous journey to the underworld, determined to bring her back. Armed only with his lyre and his unwavering love, Orpheus descended into the dark realm of Hades, where no living man had ventured and returned. The journey was fraught with dangers. Orpheus crossed the river Styx, his music soothing the ferocious three-headed dog Cerberus, who guarded the gates of the underworld. He navigated the shadows, his melodies guiding him through the labyrinthine paths. The spirits of the dead paused to listen, their tormented souls momentarily at peace. Finally, Orpheus stood before Hades and Persephone, the king and queen of the underworld. He played his lyre and sang a song so poignant and filled with sorrow that even the heart of Hades was moved. His music spoke of the depth of his love and the unbearable pain of losing Eurydice. Tears filled the eyes of Persephone, and for a moment, silence reigned in the halls of the dead.
A divine bargain.
Hades, moved by Orpheus's devotion, made an unprecedented decision. He agreed to allow Eurydice to return to the land of the living, but with a strict condition. Orpheus must not look back at her until they had both reached the surface. If he did, Eurydice would be lost to him forever. Hope surged within Orpheus as he began the ascent, his heart beating in rhythm with Eurydice's footsteps behind him. Climbing the steep, dark path, he played his lyre, filling the air with melodies of hope and reunion. But doubt began to gnaw at him. Was Eurydice truly behind him? Was it all a cruel trick? As they neared the entrance to the mortal world, the anxiety became unbearable. Just a few steps from the light, Orpheus's resolve faltered. He turned to see Eurydice, her form as radiant as he remembered. But in that instant, she was pulled back into the shadows, a look of sorrow and forgiveness in her eyes. Orpheus reached out, but she vanished, leaving him alone and heartbroken. Aftermath and legacy. Orpheus emerged from the underworld, his heart a chasm of despair. He wandered the earth, his music now tinged with a sorrow that moved all who heard it. The trees and rivers wept with him, and the animals mourned alongside. He sang of love lost and the cruelty of fate, his lyre producing the most beautiful and tragic melodies ever heard. Despite his grief, Orpheus's love for Eurydice remained undiminished. He refused to be consoled, living in solitude and avoiding the company of both gods and men. His songs became legends, passed down through the ages as a testament to the enduring power of love and the pain of separation.
The tragic end.
Orpheus's fate, however, was as tragic as his love story. He eventually fell afoul of the Maenads, followers of Dionysus, who were driven to madness by his refusal to join their revelries. In their frenzy, they tore him apart, scattering his remains. His head and Lyre, still singing mournful songs, floated down the river Hebrus to the sea, where the Muses finally laid him to rest. Eternal reunion. In death, Orpheus was finally reunited with Eurydice in the underworld. No longer bound by the conditions of the living, their souls embraced, and they were together for all eternity. Their love, undiminished by time and tragedy, shone brightly in the realm of Hades, a beacon of hope and a reminder of the power of true love.
Conclusion.
The love story of Orpheus and Eurydice is a timeless tale of passion, loss, and the lengths one will go to for love. It speaks to the human condition, the inevitability of fate, and the enduring hope that love transcends even death. Their story has been told and retold through the ages, a poignant reminder of the beauty and tragedy that lies within the human heart. And as long as there are those who love deeply, the tale of Orpheus and Eurydice will continue to resonate, inspiring generations to come.